Welcome to part two. We're joined by Ryan from Lancashire. How you doing, Ryan?
Fantastic, my mate. How are you?
I'm all right. Right. Floyd Mayweather was saying he's bankrupt. Leonard Ellis put something out, apparently, allegedly, whatever. Uh, what do you think? Where do you think he goes now? Do you think all spending and gambling's caught up to him?
Do you know what? So I used to own a recruitment agency a few years ago. I was made bankrupt for that myself. In fairness, bless Floyd. Yes, the guy who ran a payroll company. In fact, it was a footballer, Jake Livermore, who was something to do with the payroll company. Actually, met him a couple of times. He's a good guy. Anyway, they told me a story about they knew Floyd. They met Floyd. One of these guys, this Josh kid who owned this payroll company. And he said that, he was like a kid. So they were sat there, they all had nice watches on. And Floyd just, was, weird. He'd have to show you every single watch he had or every single Louis Vuitton bag he had. And this Josh has just turned around to me like, Floyd, I don't care, mate. Relax sort of thing. And he said to me, he'll be bankrupt within 5 to 10 years, Ryan. I was like, fuck off. No
Said
chance.
that.
This Josh kid, he owned a payroll company that I used to use. They were based in London. Right nice fucking place it was. Near Cockfosters, that's where I used to have to get off the tube to go and meet with him. And they were big. They did well for themselves. They had a lot of money. And like I say, they got introduced to Floyd. And he told me that about Floyd. He spent time around him and all the rest of it. And I quote him, he'd be bankrupt in 5 to 10 years, Ryan. And no chance, not a fucking chance. And he said he was pretty sad actually. He almost sort of remarked that it was like Floyd didn't really have mates or anything like that. Like he was constantly trying to validate himself, and yeah, quite sad really. But you have to anticipate these things, I guess. I mean, how someone blows that kind of money is beyond me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's a lot of money that he's owing out, though, isn't it? And he's been living on the hog, hasn't he, for years.
Well, wasn't he caught up in Dubai recently? There was rumours that he was nicked over there for owing money, and they won't let him leave the country or something. I don't know how he does it, mate. I really don't know how he does it. I mean, he always used to make a reference as well to investments and properties and all the rest of it. So how are you skinned, lad? You've made all these investments. That's why him and 50 Cent fell out, wasn't it?
He ripped 50 cents over that fight with
Mayweather
Urias
promotion.
Gamboa, didn't he, or something?
Well, it was a Mayweather promotion. So, again, according to 50 Cent, mad that we're on a boxing podcast and we're talking about fucking 50 Cent. But, yeah, he said that when he asked him to take over Mayweather Promotions, and 50 said, there was nothing there. There was no such thing, essentially. So then he's gone about signing again Gamboa and a couple of other fighters. And then it was more when Mayweather came out of prison that it was buying him a Lambo, buying him this, buying him that, and then he just bumped him. But these kind of people who do those kind of actions, I'm sure you've had friends that, the bump heads, that, they'll lend money, they don't pay back. They always end up on their own, and they always end up with a sad existence. And Floyd Mayweather is the most magnified, personified version of that, I guess, which is, again, really sad, mate, when you think of the money he's had.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? It's
Very.
he's had the money, and he got 300 million for McGregor, didn't he?
Is that how much he got?
Yeah. Tyson Fury, apparently he's going to be trained by Andy Lee if he fights Joshua. This is the word. Do you think that's a good move? He seems to be the go-to guy, doesn't he, at the moment, Andrew Lee?
Well, we'll see, won't we, if it's a good move or not. I don't think that fight will get made, though. But what are your thoughts on Andy Lee as a trainer? out
Well,
of
we
interest?
can only really judge him on Joseph Parker, can't we? And he's turned his career around, hasn't he?
Yeah, and what was his name now? The Irish kid that hammered Crocker the other week, Donovan.
Uh,
Paddy Donovan. You can just go off that as well.
yeah, he's
So
done
Andy
well with
Lee's.
him, hasn't
Yeah. Andy Lee, I rate him as a trainer, but that fight won't happen. And again, mate, it's we're talking about two, 36, 37-year-old blokes.
he? You know what I mean?
Not in an athletic prime, mate. You know, I sound rude sometimes when I say that I'm not interested in female sports because it's not the best form of athleticism that's available for my eyes. Is watching 36, 37-year-old blokes the best form of athleticism that's viewable? It's not. So, intrigue for that fight. Again, it'll be there for the casuals, but I'll watch the highlights on the zone, mate. Fuck it. Do you think it'll
Yeah.
happen?
I don't think it happens now. I think it's gone on too long now on it for Joshua Fury on it.
Boring. Boring. Again, I'm a Fury fan. Like his resume's garbage. I'll grant you, but in terms of skill set and what he's actually capable of doing, if he got himself in shape, he's fantastic. But it's just boring, mate. Like the same old bollocks. Mental health. Like it's called sniff. That it's called getting geared up and having a come down. There's no mental health problems there. We all have them, don't we? You go on a weekend bender, Monday, fucking hell. You know, you stay in your house, you don't speak to anyone. That's not mental health, that. It's called a come down. I don't want to have to hear it all again. What he went through after the use. You just lost the boxing match, mate. And you got paid well over, you probably got paid, 100 million quid for the fights. Is life really that bad? I don't want to
Yeah.
have to hear the song and dance. You know? I don't know. Sound harsh, don't we? Sometimes, but it's true.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from, mate. It's all a bit fucking pony, isn't it?
It's
But
the
I
same
want I
shit.
want to see Fury fight Joshua, but I don't think they're worthy of all the money that they're talking now because it's gone on long enough. We've been talking about it fucking for 14 years, haven't we?
Mm, yeah, and again, I've said it already. I mean, Tyson wins that fight very, very, very easy. In my opinion, I think Tyson wins that very comfortably. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, fucking hell, mate. Battery. Joshua's no good. Like, he's no good. You go off what someone's last fight was. Fury did well in the Usyk fight. He was 9-3, maybe 8-4 at best. He fought one of the best fighters that we'll see probably for another 20 years in Usyk. Have a look at Joshua's. He couldn't jab. He was thrown with his hands by his waist. Very stiff, very robotic. Tyson Fury smashes into bits. So,
Is that where you're going with? Yeah.
I think so, mate. Yeah, I mean, what do you think would that be the outcome with that?
I think Tyson Fury is the fresher of the two, isn't
Yes.
he? He's obviously they've both been down about 18 times between them, but Fury's gets up, doesn't he?
Yes.
Joshua, once he's been hit, he stays it, doesn't he? He looks for a way out, doesn't he? He was looking for a way out in Vladimir fight, but Vladimir got tired, didn't he? And Joshua got his second wind. Because
Yeah.
after Vladimir dropped him, he went on run.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Completely agree with that. It feels like a lifetime ago, that fight.
You know what I mean? 8 years ago tomorrow, isn't it?
Mad that. I still remember where I was. Flaked off my box in a shit pub in a place called Sale, if you've ever heard of it.
Where?
Sale, Trafford.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I was there watching it. Everyone's saying, "Oh, he's like Mike Tyson." See, fuck.
Do you know if Joshua doesn't fight Fury next or Fury don't fight Joshua, where do they both go now? Where's Fury gonna go and risk a fight where he could get beat? And Joshua couldn't get beat of anybody, but Fury could get beat of anybody in top 10, couldn't he?
Who in the top 10 now would you have to beat Fury outside of Ibushi?
Abayel,
Right.
Usyk, Wardley, they all beat Fury, in my opinion. Daniel Dubois beats him, that's 4.
Yeah.
I don't think Joshua beats him, he's not fresh enough.
Nah. Interesting.
You know what I mean? It's that's how I look at it, but each to their own, isn't it? What do
Yeah.
you think of that David Adelaide fight with Jamie TKV?
Bit surprising, wasn't it? Because Adelaide was just sort of refusing to let his hands go. But you know what? That TKV surprised me. I'd watched him before and I wasn't that impressed, but he's got a really good jab. His jab was fantastic. And again, he kept Adelaide quiet for, what was it, 6 rounds. That referee was far too emotional to be involved in the sport of boxing. Far too emotional. And what were your thoughts on Adelaide specifically?
Well, I had Adelaide to win by knockout, so I was buzzing anyway. But maybe referee didn't do other kid any favors. But I thought David Adelaide would have got to him eventually. I do honestly. I don't think the kid could have boxed perfect for full fight and stayed out of the way.
No, no, I agree with you. I agree with you. Rematch is has been ordered as well, hasn't it now?
You know,
So
when you look at Dave Allen's career, right?
yeah,
32 fights, he's had 139 rounds. Do you think for them 139 rounds they've been hard rounds? When
that's
you
a good
look at his
question.
CV, right? Let's have a look at his CV,
Ortiz, every round was hard.
right. He went from Jason Gavin 27, 20 and 4 to Dylan White 17 and 1 and Luis Ortiz 26 and 0. That gap from March 2016 up to December 16, he had them 3 fights, Gavin, White, and Ortiz. And that shows you the type of career he had. And then after Ortiz, a 26 and 0 guy who at WBA, #1 ranked interim champion. He went from him to a 22 and 28 Lucas Rosowski, some fucking journeyman. It's a bit like Yard's record, isn't it, Dave Allen's?
Yeah, it's a good comparison, that mate. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he's very good defensively, Dave. So yeah, I don't think he's had it. He's never had. I tell you, we did have a bit of a war with a chubby Argentinian bloke, Bracamonte or something like that. But
Yeah, that were a life and death, wasn't it? That
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Ariel Esteban Bracamonte 8 and 1 it was, but he was technically a journeyman, wasn't he? Really?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was it was a fucking good fight. In fairness,
He
a
ended up
very
with
good
a
fight.
career. He ended up retiring. No, he hasn't retired. He's still going strong. Actually, he's back in May, but his career is 13 wins, 12 losses.
You know, someone else pressed him from the UK after it as well. I can't remember who it was. Someone give
Well,
him an
Fraser
hiding.
Clark's 40, man.
Was it Matt Fraser Clark? Might have given
Fraser
him an
fought him
hiding.
in his second fight.
Big freeze.
Big Freeze back on the scene with a dint in his head. What do you reckon to Big Freeze? Where does he go now?
Well, he was talking about Adelaide one of the other day. That is honestly, mate. They need to really advise Fraser Clark. I like Fraser Clark. I think he's decent. He's a decent UK level boxer. Keep him away from David Adelaide because that's a dynamite puncher who will put another dent in his head. That's a very, very, very bad fight for him. Very bad fight. But again, I think he's got he's a decent boxer. He's decent all over. He's not got big power. He's not particularly fast, but he's decent-ish across the board. He's 31, 32, isn't he? Something like that. So there's still a few more years. But keep him fucking well away from David Adelaide, mate. Did you hear him slating Adelaide at all?
Yeah, I've seen it. How do you
So it
think
was on
Elmer
Talksport.
Fudd does against Adelaide?
I get knocked clean out.
Yeah, he'd get lifted
Yeah,
onto bottom moon, wouldn't
that'd be early though. I think Big Freeze will be able to keep him honest with his jab and a little bit of movement for, again, 4 or 5 rounds, maybe 6 rounds before Adelaide catches him something cold. But Elmer Fudd doesn't know how to defend himself properly, and he's wide open for anything. He's too upright. Adelaide would really, that's a terrible fight for Elmer. Really, really bad fight. Why do you fancy Elmer in that one? Yeah? Big fan, aren't you?
No, I don't. I don't fancy Elmer against Adelaide. I think he gets put on slab. I hope he don't, but I think he'll end up on a slab if he fought somebody like Adelaide. Him,
Yeah, it won't be
he
good.
don't move his head enough for me, Elmer.
I just don't think he knows how to. Again, we go back to Joe Joyce. There are things that people can and can't be taught, and there's things that people. Those two are both rugby players. Yeah, they're both rugby players. They've got big, massive heads. The rugby players, they're not boxers. There's nothing natural about their movements in a boxing ring. Fuck all. They're just big, hard rugby players. Both Joyce and Elmer Fudd. I don't put Elmer Fudd in the mix with Joe Joyce as well, may I add, but that's all they are. Yeah, not really interested in Elmer Fudd, mate, surprisingly. Not really interested at all. I think. What do you think Dave Allen stops him in this second fight?
Hey,
Do you think Dave Allen stops him in this rematch?
yeah, though.
Late,
Yeah.
early. I want
I
him
think
to.
Dave Allen gets him inside 6 rounds. I think he's just going to jump on him and carry on the fight like they were having.
I think Elmer will come out and try and get behind the jab, and he'll be trying to move as much as he can, and that's where it's going to be based on where Dave's been, how he's trained, if he's trained, etc., etc. Because I can see Fudd getting on the back foot and trying to run and hold when it gets close.
Yeah.
He
What
doesn't
do
know
you
how to
think
fight him
about
inside, does he?
Liam Cameron and Ben Whittaker and how many rounds they're going to fight at?
I tried to stick up for Ben Shalamana, but he's fucking garbage, isn't he, mate? He's probably the most boring bloke.
He don't know
You
what he's
know,
doing, does he? He's at
no,
his
it's fucking sad, really, mate, because you can imagine he's a nice kid, but it's just not fucking. I've never heard of anything like it, and I hope that Liam Cameron stays on it. In fact, I hope he fucking takes a few quid off him and does it at 10, because I think that he can beat Whittaker. I didn't see anything from Whittaker in that fight to say to me he's good enough to beat Liam Cameron.
No.
No, Cameron did really well with Lyndon Arthur. Lyndon Arthur's a lot better than fucking Ben Whittaker, mate. And I'm not biased there because he's local. Not at all. Lyndon Arthur's someone who went 12 rounds with Dimitri Bivol, mind you. Ben Whittaker couldn't do that. Lyndon Arthur, really struggled with him. Liam Cameron should win that fight, and he should win that fight within 10 rounds. 8th, 9th. Whittaker will quit, or Andy Lee will pull him out. I called it on Whittaker ages ago. I like him actually, but yeah, he doesn't have a lot of power. Edmondson, the light heavyweight, I think he's British champion at the moment. He's stuck it all over Ben Whittaker, right? And I put a comment on, and I'll screenshot this for you as well. I put it on there, and this is 12 months ago. I said, he's got quitting in him. There's a hole in him. He didn't want to even look at Louis Edmondson in the face. You can just tell that he's not meant for it. He's not built for it. Do you think Cameron beats him in a rematch or not?
Do you know what?
Do you think Cameron wins in the rematch?
Yeah, I think Liam Cameron stops him, mate. I do honestly. I really think he stops him, Liam.
Yeah, I hope so. I do hope so. Did you watch the thing with Horscock the other day?
Face off.
Face off. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought Cameron came over as thick. I
I
mean, he
don't know.
said, "Oh yeah, he eldered me." Eldered me. What's
I
that?
know.
A dictionary word, is it?
No, I don't know how
Talking about a
intelligent he
bottle,
is.
calling a bottle a buckle, buckle. You know what I mean? It's like just, you know, sounds a bit punchy to me. Oh, he eldered me, and what is eldered? Fucking unbelievable. So I don't know, but I hope Liam wins because I like him. And but we're gonna see, aren't we? We're gonna see what happens. If Liam don't win, they'll bring him back. He'll be donkey fodder for a few others, won't he? That'll be his role, like a British gatekeeper type, won't
As long as he earns a few quid out of it,
he? Yeah,
you know,
that's
that's
all
the
that
most
matters, isn't it?
important part in it. But what would you do with Whitaker when he gets beat? What would your next direction be with him?
If he won,
No, if he gets beat.
well, I think the hype would be gone, wouldn't it? They'd say these Olympians, it don't mean no. Now they're handing Olympic medals out like confetti. Look at Fraser Clark and Ben Whitaker.
Yeah,
Look at Luke Campbell, never went above a Commonwealth title, did he? Luke Campbell.
mad how that happened.
He
Do you
only
think
won a
he went up
Commonwealth,
to?
didn't he, Luke Campbell? I know he's a millionaire, but he only won a Commonwealth.
Do you think he went up like because he won his gold medal at Bantam, won it, and then he's gone up what 3, 4 weight divisions to lightweight when he turned over. Do you think he's just put too much weight on and wasn't big enough of a
Yeah,
frame?
5'10" him, wasn't he? Five, a
Mate,
tall
I've
bloke,
met
him.
him. I've met him. He's just a little bit. He's about an inch or two smaller than me. He's fucking well tall, but he's really like narrow framed. Like
Yeah.
he's a small man in terms of frame. I mean, but he's fucking tall. But again, going from bantamweight and then turning over at lightweight, the two different animals. I don't know. I used to think, could he get down to feather or super feather? He'd clean up there. Bit of a strange one, Luke Campbell. Very strange.
Very strange indeed, isn't it, mate? Absolutely very strange.
It's the
Uh,
sport we chose, unfortunately, mate. Full of
yeah.
fucking weird.
Okay, we'll finish up on this then.
Go
Who
on,
you
mate.
got, Eubank or Ben?
Eubank, uh, between 5 and 7. I'll put money on that as well. Well, what have you got?
Eubank's by knockout.
Round. Give me a round.
I couldn't really gear around, but I think Eubank could get him early. I don't think he'll mess about with him. He won't want to drag it on. He'll just take him out.
Do you think he'll knock him out, or do you think
I think he'll
Sims will save him?
absolutely poleaxe him and leave him fucking smashed up. That's what I think. I think you're going to see why we have weight divisions now, and everybody's going to be running for the Eddie Hills afterwards and backtracking, and you're going to hear Crusher Bang come out saying, "Yeah, setbacks paved the way for comebacks. My old man got beat against Watson, and come back from that." You'll hear all that nonsense. You know what I mean? And I'm coming up from a welterweight. He's really a super middle. No, you're
No,
a light
fuck
middle and
off.
he's a middle.
Yeah, bang on, mate. Absolutely, 100%.
Stop
You
with
know what
this
would be interesting?
welterweight, super middleweight shit.
He was massively undersized at super middle as well, Kishu Bang. Yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting to see when it gets tough what Conor Ben does. I think he'd get dirty, mate. I think he'd do something stupid.
Well,
Be
we're going to
intriguing
see
to see.
now, aren't we?
When is that? Is that next week?
Is it April 26th or something? It's a
No,
week in it
no.
this Saturday. Let's have a look. Let's have a look if it's sold out. Uh, Connor, Ben, Box Rec. Yeah, it's a couple of weeks yet, mate. It's a couple of weeks yet. Uh,
Sam, you still think Yard beats Arthur?
yeah, I think Lyndon Arthur gets beat against Yard
Yard.
again. I think if it's same result. I think it'll just be another knockout. That's what I think. Not that I'm taking out away from him.
No, no, no.
Do you know what I
It's
mean?
happened before. It's conceivable for it to happen again, isn't it? I get
Yeah.
where you're coming from.
I mean,
We'll
his
see, mate.
best wins, Ben's best wins are Chris Van Eden, former IBO, and Algieri, and Bargos. They're his best wins, aren't they? But they were all old men, weren't they?
Well, Van Heerden went life and death, not life and death, but he struggled with Matthew Hatton about 6 years prior to that. And Van Heerden was never up to much, and Errol Spence nearly took his fucking life as well. Again, about 5, 6 years prior to the Conor Benn fight. And Algieri, I bet most people didn't even know who Algieri was. He was a commentator, wasn't he? Stepped out the commentary booth to fight a roided up Conor Benn. No good.
Well,
I don't get it, mate.
Conor Benn's 29-year-old in a couple of months.
Really?
So he's not a spring chicken anymore, is he?
No. No, is he fuck? Again, we'll see what happens, mate. I'm convinced between the 5th and the 7th, either. I don't see Eubank knocking him out. I see Sims pulling Conor or Conor quitting.
Yeah.
Don't know whether there's quitting him, but I haven't seen it. In that one, he went life and death with that journeyman. You know, his face was all over the gaff and he was all in tears and all the rest of it. So maybe there
Cedric
is
Pino.
a quit. Yeah.
Well, we're gonna see, aren't we?
Wonder where he is now. Wonder where he is.
Cedric Pino, he's probably a
Yeah.
waiter somewhere in France.
It's just fucking served me this Subway. But
All
we'll
right,
see, mate.
man.
We'll see, my mate. But
We'll
listen, you
see.
take care of yourself.
Listen,
Russell,
thanks for
and I'll
coming on.
speak to you soon,
And
man.
nice to have you on for an hour, mate. And keep in touch.
Always.
Cheers, brother.
Always, mate. Take care of yourself.
Cheers, mate.
See you later. Bye-bye.
Thanks for liking and subscribing and leaving a comment. Don't forget to give Canada's Boxing Channel YouTube subscribe and follow and watch his stuff. And Andy's Cavern YouTube. Them lads are part of the commission. Okie dokie. Go on, peace out.